Okay, first off, don't run off to the store and try to buy these. These are Italian hiking boots, all leather, leather inside and out, and these are very hard to find anymore. You probably have to go to the vintage market to try to find a pair. But these, I'm not going to call this a restoration. I'm going to call this a servicing because they're really in good shape. They just need to be cleaned up a little bit, and I'm going to replace those laces with some paracord laces, and of course I'm going to use these laces to measure, and I go a little bit longer, go about 3 inches longer on the replacement shoelaces, so I have room to double tie them. And by the way, these are being restored for Audrey. Audrey Scher is the host of Hooping Live, and she wears a size 6, and hopefully these will work out for her for hiking. So she might even be able to hoop in them. You never know. There's saddle soap. That's what I'm going to start with, and I take it in hot water and I dissolve it, and then I take the brush. See, I just scooped some out and put it in hot water, and then you just swish that around and on and get it to dissolve in the water. It takes a while to get that to dissolve, but once it dissolves in that hot water, and the hotter the better for the water, then you just take and you scrub it all over the shoes, just all over the shoes. By the way, I took out these old insoles. I'm going to put some new leather insoles in there. And I might get a thicker pair of insoles for her once she tries them on. Just if she needs something a little thicker in there, we'll get a little thicker insole than the one I got. But I take this alcohol and I rub all the interior of it just to make sure there's no germs or anything in there. Just rub all the interior with alcohol. They smelled nice and fresh, so I don't think there was any issue with them. But just to be on the safe side, I'm rubbing everything inside with alcohol. And then I'm going to go over the shoes entirely. After I clean them real good with the saddle soap, I'm going to go over them with Picard Leather treatment, which I like, and I've done some reviews on that product in the past. And you can see here I'm going to get inside these like gussets here, or whatever you call this area where the tongue, by the way, it's designed like that so stones don't get inside, and the higher line boots are designed like that. So you can see here I'm going to just scrub these really good. I don't know what that green stuff was on there, and I'm just going to scrub until I get them as clean as possible. And I'm going to periodically wipe off the excess saddle soap and water with a towel nearby. And then I'm not even going to wait for them to fully dry. Some people say you should wait 24 hours for them to fully dry before you apply the Picard, but the Picard will dry fine. I don't have a problem with really applying it after this procedure. And the leather actually dries out pretty quick. I'm not really soaking the leather here. I'm just getting it damp and again drying it regularly with the towel. And these weren't in really bad shape, so it's not like I had to do a whole lot of work to these things. But this is really more to preserve them and to keep this leather moisturized and in good shape going forward. These boots are probably, they could be 10, 15, 20 years old. They're in really good shape, of course, but you need to take care of high quality boots like this for them to last. And really, there are people that have boots like this that last their lifetime if they take good care of them. So that's what we're going to try to do is these are extremely well made Italian boots, and there's no reason not to give a little bit of care to them. And here's the new insoles that I got, and I'm not super impressed with these. They are leather. They don't have quite the padding of some of my other leather insoles that I got from, I think, Eco. So I might upgrade these. We'll have Audrey try them on and see what she thinks. So you're going to see after I get these in here, I'm going to put all the Picard on there. And what I do is I let it soak in for about an hour or so. And then I wipe off any excess with a paper towel. And then I don't even wait. I go ahead and I install the shoelaces. And you can see here's the 550 paracord that I use for the shoelaces. And this stuff works great. You don't have to buy expensive shoelaces for your boots. You can cut this any length you want. And what I do is I cut it at an angle on the end, and then I very carefully burn the end with a lighter so that it doesn't get too big, so that it will still fit through the holes. Because if you get a big glob of gooey stuff when you melt the end of that, it might not fit through that hole. But if you cut it at an angle and are careful when you burn it, it goes right through the hole very nicely. So here I'm going to liberally apply the Picard leather treatment, and you can see it's all over it, and And then what I do is I take the excess on my hand and I rub the inside and get some on the inside as well. I don't put near as much on the inside. So, but I really soak it on the outside, and I let that soak in. And it will soak in, and it'll just totally treat that leather and keep it in really, really good condition for hiking. So after I complete this, I'm going to go ahead and put the new laces on. And Audrey can switch out these laces for a different color. You can get paracord in all different colors. I have some red. You might even be able to get yellow if she wants the yellow back again. So, but this is just a kind of a real neutral khaki multicolor that looks pretty good on hiking boots, I think, and is real forgiving about showing dirt or anything like that because of the pattern on it. So this is what I chose to lace them up. And the thing I like about paracord is it slides very easily, so it's really easy to tighten up your boots and lace them up, and just really easy to work with. I haven't found really better laces. On my Limer boots, I still have the original leather laces, and they work great too, and you know, they're really high quality leather ones, which I like. So I'll stick with those until they break or something, and then I'll probably put paracord on those as well. So anytime I have to replace original laces, I don't hesitate to just use the paracord. You can see they're pretty much fully restored. It's still soaking in. The Picard is still soaking in. It's been about an hour and a half since I rubbed that on, and it's going to soak in all night. And then I'll probably just wipe it down with a nice towel or something just to get any excess off that might still be on it and on them in the morning. But they're pretty much ready to hit the trails. And by the way, check out Audrey at hoopinglive.com, hoopinglive.com. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.